I am Jean Ketcham, and I am CEO of Aging But Dangerous, and I have the most exciting guest with me today that I can't wait to talk to. And Karla, I'm just going to call you Karla, okay?
Absolutely, please.
She's got a hard last name. Anyway, Karla is owner of StretchLab, and I am going to the StretchLab, and I want you all to know everything about it because it is such a, oh my gosh, it's saving my life. And Karla, I was telling you, I don't know whether, I mean, but, we all do believe in the universe and how things are happening and everything. I mean,
For
I hope
sure.
we do. But one morning I woke up and I was just so stiff and it was hard to get out of bed. And I'm like, I mean, of course I'm, I'm getting old, but I refuse to, have that, the reason why anything happens. And I thought, I wonder if there's any kind of, this is the honest truth, I wonder if there's any kind of stretch classes out there or any kind of stretching that I can go to, because I tried to do it on my own and it just doesn't work. I mean, I had the stretch bands, all that, and it just doesn't work. And so I went on the internet and oh my gosh, up pops the StretchLab. And you guys had not even opened yet, right?
Correct. We
And
had
so
not even opened.
I know. And so I'm like calling them, and Kyle, your darling manager there, he told me to come in and get, even though you weren't open, to come in, you'd give me a little promo for 15 minutes and let me see what it was about. Well, I just fell in love with it, and I have been doing it now for 8 months, and I cannot tell you what it's doing for my body. And I want you to try to explain to people, what it is and what, what it does. But first of all, how did you get into this business?
Sure. So my husband and I were looking to buy a franchise, just to diversify what, our incomes and different things, and looking down the road. And we looked at a bunch of different concepts, and we fell upon the StretchLab, and we're like, what is this? It's new. And as soon as we heard about it and we flew out and had our own stretch for the very first time, we call it Booty on the Bench, we were sold. It's amazing. It sells it because it's for everybody and everybody. So it's kind of how we fell upon it.
Well, I think you should have T-shirts made, Booty on the Bench. I love that.
Right, exactly.
Well, Karla, I have to tell you, this just happened to me today. I had lunch with somebody, and they said, the StretchLab, I mean, I think that is so amazing that you're doing something like that. And I said, why? And they said, because that's just not something everybody does. And I'm like, well, it's because they don't know about it. I mean, it is fairly a new concept, isn't it? Or is it?
It is. It is. It is brand new. We have the only 2 assisted stretching studios in Minnesota, but it is a franchise owned by Exponential Fitness out of California. So we all know we should stretch. It feels good when we stretch, right? But we don't take the time to do it.
Yes.
And what's different about our stretching, most people do static stretching on their own. We do something called PNF stretching. It is proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. So what it is our flexologists are trained to put you in a safe and appropriate position, and they use resistance stretching to have you increase your mobility, flexibility. They put you in that perfect position to increase that for you without you having to do anything, really. It's one-on-one and assisted.
Well, and Karla, these are stretches that, and of course, I've just fallen in love with my young little flexologist, or whatever we call him, Niall. He's so good, and I know everybody you have is good. But what's really interesting about it is that it is stretches that you really can't do on your own. I mean, Absolutely. They stretch portions of your body, your legs, your arms, your neck, all that stuff that you really can't do on your own.
For sure. For sure. And what's interesting about it is everybody's so different, right? So we have people come in and they say, oh, my lower back hurts, but really the flexologists in their training know that that's probably related to your quads or your IT band. And they're able to individualize it to every single person, no matter your age, your mobility, or anything like that. So it's very individualized, that one-on-one stretching.
Well, I know Niall was saying how, he's my guy, he was saying how the age doesn't make any difference. He was saying how there's young people that come in there that are just as stiff or, stiffer than some of us older ones. So it doesn't
Absolutely.
matter age. I mean,
Right.
it probably would be good, Karla, on even a young child.
Yes, we do have, actually, our youngest member is 7 years old,
Okay.
and our oldest member is 86-year-old. We have men and women in our studios, people that work out a ton. Some people use it for injury prevention. Chiropractics are very excited about it, and they're recommending it because we don't stretch enough. So we have athletes, we have corporate people, people that are working on marathons, or just people for everyday life, getting out of bed, getting dressed, all of those things. So it is for everybody and every body, is like I like to say.
Yeah, I love that. I love that little quote or whatever it is. But I know that it's, I just am getting so much from it that I can't even tell you. And you're right, my chiropractor, I've been going to the same chiropractor for years, and she is amazed at how much it's doing for me. And I think that's so positive when chiropractors really admit that someone else can help you, as much as they can. And she just, I'll come to you guys and then, get a really nice stretch, and then I go see her, and she's just like, she's amazed. So, I mean, I just can't say enough about it. I'm your biggest supporter. I am. And all right, tell me about and I've already forgotten the name of it, that machine you have up in front.
Sure. So we have, it's called MAPS. And, when you get a stretch, it feels amazing, right? And you can feel how good it feels, but we also want you to see the improvements that you're making. So we have something called MAPS. It tests your mobility, your activation, your posture, and symmetry, and it kind of gives you a score. What I think is really neat about it, you do 3 squats and it does a 3D image of your body while you're doing that, and it can really tell if one side is in proportion to the other side, or one side is stiffer than the other. And lots of times it's like, oh, my hip hurts. Well, it's due to the other side not being equal to that. And so your flexologist and yourself can look at that and find your pain points and really hone in on that and help you with that. So it's been very awesome. And then you continue each month to get one of those, and you can see the increases that you're doing each month. So.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. I mean, Nyla was showing that to me, and I thought, wow, what, of course, all this technology stuff.
Sure. But we'll often have people that will be like, oh, your right shoulder is kind of showing up right, and they'll be like, remind themselves, oh, I had an injury to that. So it's very, very, technology, and able to see where your body is stiffer, where you're having problems, and where you and your flexologist can kind of start that journey to increase that.
Right. Oh my gosh, Karla. And then those darling clothes you have. I mean, it's such, I used to be in the clothing, I used to have a clothing store years ago, but oh my gosh, the quality of the clothes and the graphics and you have such a fun logo anyway. That StretchLab is a great logo. And your studio really is nice. I mean, it's so well done, Karla. Really, really well done.
Yeah, I think people really appreciate that open concept. You're not going in a room and getting a massage or a chiropractic. It's an open concept. There's music playing. There's fun clothes, fun atmosphere,
right,
for you to come in and enjoy.
Yeah, and the clothes are just great. And so I think somebody the other day when I was in there came from working out the yoga studio or something, came over there to buy some clothes. I mean, it's like your clothes are just, oh my gosh, they're so great.
Nice quality, super fun.
Yeah.
Fun patterns.
Yeah, very, very fun. So you are in Minneapolis for our people that, live here. And tell us where your other places are, your other studios.
Sure. So we have 2 studios open as of right now. Our first one is in Plymouth that we opened up. It'll be our 1-year anniversary on March 1st. We're coming up to that. So we have a studio in Plymouth, 494 and 55, and then our second studio that we see you at, Jean, is in Minneapolis, near Bede-Makaska in Lake Calhoun Village, kind of by Burger Jones. Lots of people know that area. So those are our 2, and then we're looking to open our 3rd studio in Maple Grove within the next less than a year. So we'll have 3 different locations, and you can use any of them, all 3 together.
Yeah, yeah. And I know that I'm just like it really helps me because I'm on just a monthly, thing where they just take it out of my, and your prices are so reasonable. They just like take it out of my bank account each month. I don't have to worry about it. And I just go in and have my, my sessions, and oh my gosh, I'm having one in the morning, Karla.
Enjoy.
I mean, I just was saying to my husband yesterday, it's like, it's helped me so much. I just had a hip replacement a year ago, just a year ago this month. And Nile is helping me so much. I still can't, it was on my right hip, and I still can't put on my sock or zip up a shoe or tie a shoe on my right foot. But I'm about that far away because
That's
of
so exciting.
I know it. I mean, I could only stretch down to like my knee or something. So I'm getting so close. And I'm telling you, it's just thrilling. I'm so thrilled. I'm so thrilled with it. So what's your website?
Sure. Our website is www.stretchlab.com. And when you go on to that one, you will get to pick our microsite of either Plymouth or Calhoun, the Minneapolis location. And from there, you can come on in. We have demo stretches, free 15-minute demo stretches coming up February 29th and March 1st for our 1-year anniversary. We also have intro stretches all the time that you can come on and check us out at a discounted 50% off price.
Okay, yeah, and I think that's really that's really good, Karla, because a lot of people don't know what it's like. And
Absolutely.
have that 15 minutes, you can really tell what the flexologist does, and you can feel it, and then you can do either 25 minutes or 50
Sure.
minutes.
So the cool thing about that is the 25-minute or 50, the 25-minute is really, you can pick, I really want to focus on my upper body or my lower body. In a 50-minute, they do 27 different stretches, so it's a full body stretch for you. And every single time it can change, like, hey, I gardened a lot this weekend, my back is sore, I was doing this, and can you focus on this? So it's individualized. It's not they just go through the same stretches for every person, because every body really, is received differently, and you have different muscles and all those kinds of things that you never know what's going to flare up. So it's one-on-one assisted. They do it for you, and it's individualized to everybody.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have a celebration when I can get on my shoe.
I can't wait.
I can put on a shoe and a sock. We're going to celebrate. But, and you all are so down home. You are just, everybody there, and you and your husband, and you're just really down home because you teach, don't you?
Yeah, I've been a teacher for 22 years. Yep, first grade.
Yeah. So
exciting.
You have your hands full. But, well, thank you so much for this interview. I really was looking forward to this because it really means a lot to me because of what, I have experienced. And I really so badly wanted to share this with our followers and really let them know what this is all about. So thank you so much, Karla.
Thanks, Jean. We believe in it, and we hope you do too, because we want to help people, and that's kind of our goal.
That's your goal. Okay, well, we're going to spread the word.